gentlemen, boys and girls, species around the multiverse, welcome to Geek Syndicate episode 364, where we do what we always do, and that is bring the sass back to Geekdom. I am Monts, and with me, as always, is...
Nuge!
Are you Nuge, or are you the Nuge? What is it? I don't know.
Depends what day you catch me on.
Okay, fair.
I'm Nuge, and then there's Evil Nuge, which is the Nuge. Then there's Bearded Nuge, Driving Nuge,
Wow, okay.
Daredevil Nuge.
That's a lot of confusion there,
Just think of me like a range of action men, do you know what I mean?
Oof. Do you have to like collect them all?
Yeah.
A Nuge collection.
It's like... GQ presents the Nuge collection.
Yeah, I've got to stay. It's a rare one. I'm not letting it out. I'm not going to open the box. Just keep Nuge in his box. That's what I'm going to say to you now. Whenever you get a bit fresh, I'm going to be like, get back, stay in your box, man.
Yeah, Stormtrooper Nuge. Hey, I could do this all day, man.
You know? Heist Nuge. You know?
Oh, yeah. Carpenter Nuge.
Yeah.
Golfer Nuge. V-neck wearing Nuge. Anyway.
It's ridiculous. Fake plumber in a porn movie Nuge.
Yeah. You see, we're having laugh, friendly banter. You got to go too far. And to be fair, like plumber, porn star Nuge would have an afro. Just saying.
Yeah. And a banging soundtrack.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, okay, with that imagery firmly in everyone's head. Yeah, we're on a schedule today, so we're going to move fast. We're going to move fast. Are we skipping the news?
No, because I've got a...
I had some news, but I've forgotten what it is.
Way to stay focused.
That's me.
So first off, I want to give a shout. I'm going to be doing like probably a sort of special on Thought Bubble anyway. So because I had a bit of news for that, but what I'll probably do is I might park that for now and then do like a proper kind of Thought Bubble look at, because there's a lot going on.
Yeah, I really want to try and come down for a day, but we'll see.
You still there?
Yeah. I didn't know what else to say.
Oh, okay, fair.
So, my motto now these days, I was trying to get my daughter to realize that a wise person says nothing when they have nothing to say. Yeah, you may as well keep talking because we know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not even going there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So my first bit of news is a bit of science coming from Science Nuge. So Earth to briefly gain a second moon.
We've already had one.
You heard it? What do you mean?
We had one about 4 years back.
What, a second moon?
A second moon?
Yeah. Oh.
It was in orbit for about 4 years, and then it went out of orbit. But it was like only a few meters across. But by definition, it was a moon.
Yeah. Well, this one is like millions of miles across, and like it's flaming red. And do you know what? Just forget it, man. Just forget it. Do you know what I mean? The one little bit of science, because every so often you drop some science, it's always quite good, interesting, a little bit, have a little bit of a laugh. The one time I had gags for Space 1999, I had gags for Deep Impact.
I
ruined it, man.
I want to know though. I want to know because I don't know. I want to know.
No, what do you want to know?
Is it like? What is it? Is it a big one? Is it like going to affect
the
tides?
It's a mini moon, right? It's a mini moon. It's good that you'll be able to see it you only be able to see it if you've got a telescope, and it's going to be happening from the 29th of September for a couple of months, not a couple of years, before it escapes the Earth's gravity. Ruined it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, great.
I just hope there's no like virus that comes down from it or whatever.
Don't try and save it now. Try and inject a bit of jokes in. You killed it, man.
Okay, well, if you're done, then I've got some news.
Yeah,
it's going well today, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm done. Go on, then.
So, you know what I mean? I'm a big. You mentioned you just like dropped in Space 1999.
Yep.
You know, which for those who don't know is a TV show about the moon like breaking out of Earth's orbit. So like strangely, it's a lovely segue. Nice, good work, man.
Thanks.
You're doing it all for me. That's great. Now, one of the spaceships they used to have on Moonbase Alpha in Space 1999 was called the Eagle. So they had Eagle 1, Eagle 2, they had a load of them. And they would have like these really functional utility ships. And I loved them. And way back in the day, I had a little toy and you could drop it because they've got like a passenger bit that you could drop out and leave. And then
I think I had an Eagle as well, actually.
Yeah, and I loved it. So they've started they're advertising an Eagle 1976 standard edition. Like, you know, special. It's only like a limited amount of orders that coming through. And I'm looking at it, and you can open the pilot section, and there's got 2 figures. You can drop them in. You can drop the passenger section. You can also open it up, put the figures in, and like, you know, they got Space 99 and space suits on and that. And I'm like, I am so up for this. Yeah, I'm gonna pre-order. So I went to the site. How much do you reckon an Eagle toy is? Because it is a toy. You can open it. It's 329 quid, man.
What?
329. I ain't getting
it. How big is it? Is it like life size?
It goes, please note, this is not the limited alpha edition, which is sold out. I was like, how much was that?
Wow. Wow. Do you know how big it was?
No, I'm on the thing. It says 9.6. Oh no, it comes with 2 9.6 centimeters Eagle pilots. Wait, not the Eagle 1976 comes in at an incredible 91 centimeters. What's that?
What's that in inches?
36 inches.
Oh, is it?
That's quite big, isn't it?
Do you know what? I literally just put my hands apart like I knew what that was like I knew anything about it. Like, but that is quite big, actually.
Yeah.
Because 12 inches is a foot.
Yeah.
A bit of old school.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's quite big.
It's quite big. All right.
Okay. I mean, I'm still not paying 300 boys for it, but
unfortunately, I really want one quite badly. But you know,
that's what they invented Christmas for.
Not in my house.
No.
Do you know what I got for my birthday this year?
A warm handshake.
Pretty much. Yeah. Oh. It's like, yeah, it's all right. It's hard times. I understand where we are as a family. It's all good. I'm not bitter. It's all right. It's fine. Of course not. Should we move on?
Kids, if you listened to this, he's bitter. Don't let him fool you. Every cell in his body is bitterness. So I want to give a quick bit of news / shout out to the cast and crew of Spaced.
Oh, how come?
It turned 25 years this week.
No way!
Yep. And Spaced, if people don't know, starred Simon Pegg and Jessica Hines.
Yeah.
And it was written by Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
The show was.
I'm still reeling from it being 25 years ago.
Yeah, I believe, and I think Simon Pegg did like a little video thing about it. Yeah, 1999 pilot episode.
1999. See what you did there.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, I have to say, I'm probably going to go back and make a start watching it because I loved Spaced.
Oh man, absolutely. I think I've got it on my shelf, so I might think it's time. Yeah. Yes.
If not, I'm pretty sure it's on all 4.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm still reeling at how old I am. That's what.
Stop doing them silences, man, because I keep thinking my network's gone down.
Sorry. If we were doing video, I'd probably go really still, so you thought we were frozen.
That would be jinxing stuff, man.
Oh man.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm still there. I didn't go silent. Right, let's move on before I just feel too old to like.
I just want to say quickly, the main reason I wanted to mention Space was because it still had one of the best one-liners in that show, which probably means nothing unless you watch the show and understand the context. But there's a bit in that show where Simon Pegg turns to someone, and I think the guy says, "I'm really sorry, I got it before you," and he's like, "You Lando."
Yeah.
That line still kills me, man.
Oh, do you know what? So what's interesting is, so I was talking to my, we were trying to find a family film that I could watch with the whole family, and I thought of this one thing, and it's not really a family film, but I reckon it's time for my older daughter to be introduced to Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, okay.
Which is by the same team, basically.
Yeah.
And literally the next day I woke up and opened Facebook, and there was an advert for its however long it is, it's coming up to an anniversary for it, and it's going to be in the cinema.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, it's so weird that I was talking about it, and bang, there it is. Man, Space, Shaun of the Dead. Oy, feeling old.
Yeah, getting old.
Yeah.
Bit weird it was.
It's time for the week that was.
Yeah.
I'll just say now, I feel I'm going to be a bit boring and repetitive.
Okay.
Because I'm still on my aliens tip.
Oh, okay. get it out your system.
Well, the question is, where do I go? Do I go for films, short films, or comics? Because I've been doing the whole lot, man.
Why don't you do comics?
Right, okay. So I actually asked for a bit of advice, because there's a whole heap of comics out there, and what I was told was, Dark Horse originally started doing a series called by Mark Verheiden called Outbreak, and it takes place after Aliens. So
okay.
Of course they've got Newt in it, and basically it follows Newt and Hicks. And what happens to them after it? Newt ends up in a mental asylum, and Hicks is drummed out of the Marines for being crazy in this crazy alien story. And then Hicks gets recruited, and he breaks Newt out of the mental asylum, and they go off into space with this Marine outfit. And of course, they're going to be betrayed by the company again, all of that stuff. But while they were writing this, Aliens 3 came out, in which Newt and Hicks died.
Oh.
So at some point, they changed the names. And if you were to go and buy it now, they would be called Billy and Wilkes. In my mind, they should have just gone, fuck it, we're here now. Let's just double down.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep going. We're like, no, so this is a story about Billy and Wilkes.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay. So I read it, and it was all right. But I struggled so much with the art. It was like kind of this 80s art that it's the kind of art that I would have struggled with back in the 80s personally.
Okay.
And so and it was okay. I kind of gave it 3 stars, and then you moved on to Nightmare Asylum, Female War, Aliens. There were so many things, and it's all continuing. It's not like they are standalone stories, but they're all in a continuity.
Right.
And it's just, they weren't all great. It got kind of going, okay, we're going in there, and here's someone who's from the company who's going to betray you. There was one story, I can't remember which. It was one, Colonial Marines, which is about a bunch of Marines, and the guy leading it just got obsessed with destroying aliens, and that was all right. But there's someone from the company that's going to let you down, and blah, blah, blah. And there was one thing where there was a guy from the company, and when he saw how bad the aliens actually were, he had a change of heart and kind of became a good guy and helped the good guys. I was like, okay, that's nice. So at the end of the day, here's what I'm saying. I'm going to give people there's 4 stories that I thought, I read a whole heap. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 aliens comics stories. Yeah, and I'm going to say if you fancy an alien story that's a bit different, that's quite good, you got Alien Sacrifice by Peter Milligan, Alien Salvation by Dave Gibbons, both kind of uh, religious based ones, which were really good, but slightly annoyed me because you know how whenever you get people writing Christians, they always write them a little bit mad. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, so yeah, Alien Sacrifice and Salvation were great. Aliens Defiance was great. Aliens Dead Orbit was good, and surprisingly, Aliens What If? What if Carter Burke hadn't died?
Wow.
And I really, and that's actually like the story was done by Paul Reiser, who played Burke.
Okay. Yeah.
And I mean, he's still a dick, whichever way you look at it, but he was out to get the company by the end of it. So I've really enjoyed that. So I'm like, Aliens comics didn't in general didn't set me on fire, but there's a few gems in there, and I got to the point where I went, there's a whole lot more, but I can't face it, so I'm done.
Yeah.
But yeah, there we go. So
Okay.
Dead Orbit, Defiance, Salvation, and Sacrifice are the standouts. If anyone fancies it.
Well, whilst we're on the comic tip, it's difficult to choose between.
Well, I'm just going to mention while you're there. Decided I read Friday, which you mentioned in our last episode.
Oh yeah.
So damn good.
I told you, man.
It's not. I mean, Ed Brubaker always comes through, but the art was on point and just fit the words down to a T.
Yeah.
And the plotting was fantastic. The dialogue was great. And there's so many things you go, oh, I feel like I need to go back and read it now again to see what, because I know stuff. I'm going to see stuff that I missed and realize, well, I'm not going to say more because that will spoil it. But yeah. So damn good. Barry recommended it last time and he was not wrong.
Yeah. And generally could definitely see one of them. The main character really reminded me of Nikki from my book.
Absolutely.
Even
down to the quality. Look. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, just such a quality read. But yeah, on that front, there are two comments. So I'll see where we go. How I mentioned them. First one I have to mention. I just have to mention it. So it's Wonder Woman Historia.
That's actually on my list.
The first chapter is called The Amazons because I think I was
that's on Kindle Unlimited, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. But I think when I was reading the sort of like behind the scenes stuff after I read the comic, I think this is supposed to be one of 3 books.
Yeah.
I have no idea when the other books will come or if they will come. I don't know. This came out in 2021, and I believe this won an Eisner. So this is basically the story of how the Amazons came about,
right?
And especially Wonder Woman's mum. Is it Hippolyta? Yeah. And so the blurb is, the wait is over. The entire story of the Amazons can finally be told. Millennia ago, Queen Hera and the goddesses of the Olympian pantheon grew greatly dissatisfied with their male counterparts. And far from their sight, they put a plan into action. A new society was born, one never before seen on Earth, capable of wondrous and terrible things, but their existence could not stay secret for long. When a despairing woman named Hippolyta crossed the Amazon's path, a series of events were set in motion that would lead to an outright war in heaven and the creation of Earth's greatest guardian. Let me tell you, right? One, I don't know how more people haven't told me to read this comic.
Really?
You know how people could disagree, that is fine. But you know how people say to you, like, whenever people sort of go, I haven't read any comics before, where should I start? And people always list the same comics. You know, people always say Watchmen, or they say Dark Knight Returns, or Mouse, and a few others. And to me, and I have certain views on when people come to me about what comics should I read. I always then sort of go, "What are you into?" I wouldn't just give people. Do you know what I mean? That's just my take.
It makes no sense to me.
Yeah. However, you need to have this comic on your list.
Okay.
Because this comic is this is what a comic should be at its height. Do you know what I mean? Because the story is epic. The art is epic. Like, I haven't seen art like it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I got this through Kindle Unlimited, and within about 3 pages, I was like, "Yeah, I need to buy this as a physical thing."
Oh, really?
Yeah, even if I may only read it once after that, I need to have it as a physical thing. If they drop this as an absolute, I'd buy it because the art is glorious, Monts. And the way they show different things and do different things, the way they show gods and stuff like that. This is the sort of book, right? That like the way it's done, and it's written by Kelly Sue DeConnick,
Yeah, yeah.
and arts by Phil Jimenez. Also, DC, come on, man! If you've got other people working on your comic, man, stick them on your website. You know what I mean? I would like to know who the letterer was because the lettering is great on this, and other people involved like Gene Hart and Nicola Scott. But yeah, the way it kind of does myth and legend and stuff, it's the sort of book almost that, like, in, I don't know, like 200 years time, if aliens came to Earth or whatever and they found it, they would think that was real. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah,
They'd go around searching for the Amazons. You know, they talk about how myth is passed down sometimes through pictorial, and then we had the cave painting stuff like that. It evoked that kind of feeling in me. This to me almost felt like reading like the Odyssey or something like that.
Okay.
So, you know, you may have been able to gather the fact that I quite enjoyed it.
I've literally just added it to my library.
On top of that, which I'll only mention quickly because I've spent a lot of time talking about Historia, and yeah, it's a wonderful book. And even though it's book one, there is a kind of beginning, middle, and end to it, so you can sort of read it. I read the 2 volumes of Human Target, which is by Tom King.
Also sitting in my thing there, waiting to be read. Yeah.
Yeah. Tom King, man, don't let me down. You didn't let me down. It's cracking.
Okay.
Absolutely cracking. Great art. Proper. If you like your detective noir stuff, this is proper.
Okay.
Yeah, the art as well is just, it's lovely. So yeah, both of those, man. You got to get on those.
Okay. To find some time in my life. It's just it's hard, man.
I know, man. I know.
Yeah. No, you got me going. I managed to listen to something though.
Okay.
It was called Deacon. I was just because I'm on this hunt to use up my Audible tokens.
Yeah.
And I was just looking through, and I was searching by full cast dramas, and I found one which was actually on Radio 4. It's called Deacon, and it's starring Don Warrington.
What, from Rising Damp?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, okay. I'm trying to find that. So there's 3 episodes. Do you know what? I'm going to leave it till next time when I can find.
Okay.
When I can find that, when I can do it justice.
I was going to say, I've watched the first 2 episodes of, I think it's called Terminator Zero.
So have I.
Oh, okay, so this is the animated one on Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I'm 2 episodes in,
mm-hmm.
and I thought it was pretty good, but I realised I hadn't gone running back to it.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm kind of watching it on my lunch break, so that's part of the reason why I'm coming back to it, because it's almost like I've got a set time to watch it. Do you know what I
mean?
Yeah. But I'm enjoying it, but whereas on the flip side, I watched Twilight of the Gods, which is
which I'm about halfway through that.
Yeah, blitzed it. Do you know what I mean, Monts? And I think it's that thing of where we always say, like, I just ain't got the time. It's like, look, if the show's stinging it, you make the time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's like, you know what? I'm fit. I am enjoying Terminator Zero, but like you said, when time is tight, it's something I'm putting on the back burner.
I feel like on one hand, they are bringing some new nuances to like the Terminator mythos. But then every time I think, oh yeah, they're doing something new, they then do something was, hey, do you remember that time?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's that sort of, like the second episode. I think there's a bit where it kind of ends with like a motorcycle cop turning up. And you know what's going to happen. I'm like, oh, okay, so is he now going to be a motorcycle cop? Do you know what I mean? It's like we've done. I don't need greatest hits. I need something different.
Yes, exactly.
You know.
Yeah. Whereas Twilight of the Gods is bringing it in every conceivable way.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite lines. Is that like when this woman wants to start a campaign to take down Thor, and she's recruiting someone, and there's a female warrior that she wants to recruit, and she goes and she gives her this mad speech about taking down the gods and maybe they won't survive. This woman just like, drops her axe in a tree trunk and goes, I'll just go take a piss, then we go, yes?
Yeah.
And it was just a delivery. I was like, I was in tears. I was like, wow.
I'm in.
Yeah, just need a piss, man. I'm there. It's like, just hold up a second.
Hold up, man.
Yeah.
No, the show's tough, man. As I said, I rinsed it. And one of the interesting things, I think, when I started to watch it, I waited for the credits, was the minute I saw it wasn't written by Zack Snyder, I thought, okay.
Oh, is it not? I never realised that. I was like,
no, it's not. It's not written.
I was like, Zack's pulling it out of the bag this time.
No, it's not written by. It's because it's not written by him. I think he's directed it,
right?
And that's my thing. And we've talked about it before. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to go in a big long Zack Snyder chat, but there's stuff that he's done that I've really enjoyed. There's stuff that he's done that I haven't enjoyed. It's that simple, really. And this is one of the shows which I really, really, really enjoyed it, and I did it in about 2 days.
Yeah, because I'm not one of those. Yeah, I'm a Snyder bro, or I'm a Snyder hater. Nah. I don't have a category.
Nah, if you come with the goods, I'm there.
Yeah. That's as simple as it needs to be.
Bring me the goods, I'll purchase it. Yeah, it's just that simple. And I think the thing is, back in the day when we were kids, we didn't know who was putting out this stuff.
No, nor did we care. We were in the story.
I mean, to be fair, it's like the first time I started to notice that was when it was on the poster for Raiders of the Lost Ark, and they said it was done by the people that made Jaws, Close Encounters, and Star Wars. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going to the cinema then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I think sometimes people just need to chill out a little bit. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I've got a book quickly, which is by James Patterson.
Okay.
He's done like the Alex Cross books, which they've got a new series coming out on Amazon with a guy from Leverage.
Okay, nice.
He was also Hawkman in the Justice Society film Black Adam. Dude. So James Patterson's, I don't know what he's doing. It's a weird little thing he's got going on at the moment, where he's kind of taken like public properties. I think, is that what you call it? I don't know, public or characters in the public domain. Because he's done. I've read one where it was a Doc Savage book.
Oh yeah, okay.
But modern day, and it was like his sort of ancestor. And he's done a Shadow one as well, which I haven't read yet. And this one is called Holmes, Margaret, and Poe.
Oh, okay.
So it's modern day, and it's 3 detectives: Brendan Holmes, Margaret Marple, and Augustus Poe. And they basically run a PI company in New York City.
Wow.
It's kind of centered around, and there's a couple of different cases that they got running, and they're kind of all interlinked. And there's a kind of bigger mystery of like, why are these 3 people have the names, have the surnames of these fictional detectives. Well, one's a writer, isn't he? Poe. And I did enjoy it, actually. As a thriller, it was all right. I did enjoy it. But I also kind of feel it. I almost felt like it was written with a view of like, this would make a great TV show.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it almost felt like that you could have called them anything. even though they were kind of, exhibiting some of the traits of those characters, I feel like
there was nothing that really tied them back.
Not really.
Yeah.
I kind of would have rather it have been they were the actual descendants.
Yeah,
in some shape or form. Do you know what I mean? That's what I thought when I picked it up. That's what I thought it was going to be, and it wasn't, and I was a bit disappointed about that. But I still think it's still put together well. It's still worth a read. I don't know if he's gearing up for some sort of big team up with some of these characters because they're all, like I said, all now in the modern day.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's what you're doing, James, I'm there for it. And if that's not what you're doing, James, you need to get on that.
I've got a TV show.
Go on then.
It's called Night Sleeper. It's on BBC.
Oh, I haven't watched it yet. This is a runaway train, isn't it?
Yeah. Or
tube or whatever it is.
Yeah, no, it's a train. It's a train. Okay. So it's stuck on a train. It's not quite runaway.
Right.
It's being controlled by someone who's not in the driver's cab. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Is it a bit like I was getting it? I read the synopsis of it, and I saw, I think, the trailer, and I was getting a bit of a Speed vibe.
Yeah, everyone got Speed vibes.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't hang on to that too closely.
Oh, okay.
So I watched it, and because basically I saw the premise and thought that sounds right up my street. Trapped on a speeded train, you know what I mean? Looks like there's some computer hacking stuff going on. So it's like you got the cast on the train and you got the cast in the cybersecurity center, all working together, connecting by phone, all that kind of stuff, trying to work out who everyone's got a secret somewhere. Do you know what I mean? And I looked at it, and there was 2 people in it I worked with earlier this year on Night at the National Theatre.
Oh.
So I was like, well, if I wasn't in before, I'm definitely in now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give a little bit of support. It was cool. So somehow I decided to keep watching after the first episode.
Oh.
I just didn't. I didn't really buy the dialogue. The scripting was great. I think that was it mostly that made me go, oh. There's a couple characters in there you go, why? Unfortunately, one of them was one of my friends. So it's no badness to her. It was just if she wasn't there, then it wouldn't have affected anything. And like she's like meant to be the main character's best friend, and I was like, but you ain't done jack. And then it's quite funny. They get back to like Victoria Station, and the notice board gets taken over by this hacker, and like the main character runs off to the office. She goes, "Can you wait here and let me know if anything changes on the board?" And like she spends the whole 6 episodes going, "Meg, look," and holding up the phone. And that's literally once an episode. She just goes, "Look." I'm like, CCTV, you know what I mean? You could have hacked a CCTV camera and done it yourself. It was like, you served absolutely no purpose, which is a shame because I know she's a great actor. So I was like, that's a bit of a shame. But anyway, I enjoyed it. There were some places that were really tense. It's 6 episodes. I got through them all.
Okay.
Really wanted to know how it ended, that kind of stuff. So I think, if you're up for it, watch it. If you don't watch it, I really don't think you'll have missed much.
I like the main guy though, because he was in Gangs of London.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. And I like that dude.
I struggled with him a little bit because he just kind of seemed to have the same wide-eyed, what's going on expression on his face the whole time. And it was like,
what's going on?
Yeah, and the main woman as well was like, do you know what? About halfway through, I felt like they'd both grown into the part.
Okay.
So they got there. They got there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might give it a look.
And they've got, there's this woman who's the head of the cybersecurity center. Like, there's always the big tough boss that kind of would say,
yeah.
Put your gun and badge on the table. Or you got 24 hours to solve this crime. Yeah, that's a guy. And I was like, if that was my boss, I'd have words because she ain't helpful at all. She just keeps walking in and going, because we got 2 hours or it's our things on the line. You're like, we know that. So it's not going well, is it, Meg? You're like, yeah, I'm not. Or Abby, whatever it is. I thought I could trust you. Well, just leave her alone and maybe you can just. But I think that's what I mean about the dialogue. It's like totally like, what was the point of that?
almost that you can see the dialogue sort of coming.
Yeah, a lot of the time. But having said all of that, I watched it to the end and I enjoyed it and I got through it fairly fast. So it must be much better than I think it is.
But well, sort of. Lastly, I mean, I'll give a very quick mention to Star Wars Outlaws, which I'm really enjoying. Drop down. I watched Trap.
Who?
Trap. So this is a film by M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, okay.
And it stars Josh Hartnett.
Yeah.
And it is a mild sort of spoiler, but it is in the trailer. But basically, a dad takes his kid to a concert, like a massive concert. Basically, effectively, think of like taking a kid to like Taylor Swift or like Beyonce or something like that, right? And when they get in, the whole kind of the whole stadium is then ringed with police and FBI and all sorts, right? And then basically, it turns out that the police have got a tip that a serial killer called the Butcher is going to be at the stadium.
Okay.
So they've turned the stadium into one big trap.
Right, okay.
And
it's a bit harsh.
And Josh Hartnett is the serial killer.
Okay.
So you got a guy taking his daughter to a concert, and then he's now got to try
Wait. Josh Hartnett's dude taking his daughter.
Yeah.
And he's the serial killer.
Yes.
Right.
Ouch. You got me there?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. So now he's got to get out, basically.
With his daughter.
And yeah. And the thing
does
is,
his daughter know?
No. His daughter's like, she's like a teenager. She's like 14 or something, like 13, 14.
Wow, okay.
And like I said, it's a mild spoiler, but that is in the trailer. And in many ways, knowing that he's a serial killer doesn't spoil it, because the whole premise of it is like, how does he now get out? Because every time he goes to check out what's going on, they've kind of counted him.
Right. Okay.
So it's almost like a massive game of chess being played out.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Quite like that.
And you know what? Right. I think M. Night Shyamalan. A lot of people don't like him anymore, and whatever. I still love the dude. I still like his films and stuff. I think the problem is, and Sue said this, I think he was just a victim of his own success. I think, you know, when you come out with something like Sixth Sense, it's like your opening film. It's a tough act to follow, and then you follow it with like films like Unbreakable. It's tough.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking for a twist. Every film he does, you know. I loved it. I don't care what anyone says. I loved it. I thought Josh Hartnett was wicked in it. Yeah, there's some bits where it kind of stretches believability, but what film ain't doing that? These, you know what I mean? In this day and age, I really like the premise of it. I really like the idea behind it. And like I said, some of his kind of moves to try and like get out, I thought were like really, really well done.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's almost like if you lock Lex Luthor up in a building, do you know what I mean? And he's got to get out. He's a little bit like that, because he's always that kind of one step ahead. He's always sort of thinking. Yeah. Well recommended, man.
Okay, good to know.
Cool.
Right, I think we're out of time.
Yeah, shall we round it up?
Yeah, so you know the deal. We'd love to know if you think we're talking nonsense, or if you are wholeheartedly. Oh my gosh, I've just looked at the rain out here. This is biblical.
We've got blue sky here for a change.
We had blue sky since we started recording. It's gone to hell, man. Like literally, it's like hell.
It's been like that for the weekend. Yeah. And Monday, it was like end of days here, man.
Yeah, summer's done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So, let us know if you think we're talking nonsense, or if you wholeheartedly endorse our opinion, or if you do check out any of our recommendations, let us know what you think. Also check us out on Patreon, or you can buy us a coffee. It always costs to put these things on, so a little help if you appreciate it. It would be lovely.
And also come to our private Facebook group.
Yes. Join the conversation.
The link in the show notes.
Yeah. So, till next time, what we called? Geek Syndicate. That's it. Wow. So, till next time, Geek Syndicate. We out.